Okay, at one point you may need to use shadows for your fonts within Vizrt. So here you see I have a couple of fonts, so I'm going to start by dragging a font within our scene tree here, or grab it and put it in the scene editor. We're just going to drag it over here to the left hand side here. And what I'm going to do is just change the color of my background, just so we'll be able to see the color when we adjust this font here. So I'm going to change my background to white here, and let's go ahead and add a material or a color to our font. Now there's two ways you can do that. You can basically add a material using one of your materials here. So you can drag a material on there, or we could actually go into the font basic tab itself, and down within the editor we have this colored on here, so we can change the color within the font itself. So either way you want to add some color, you can. And now we're going to go back up into the shadows tab here. So we'll turn this on, and first thing we want to do is turn it active. And when we turn it active, you can see that we have this little icon here that becomes active as well. Now within our font group, when we imported these fonts, it also imported several variations of these fonts here. And here you can see with this Arial black that we have one blurred font or a blurred two. So we can just drag this over here, and now it blurs that shadow font. If we wanted to change the color of the font here, we can do that. So let's make it black so we'll see it a little bit better. And now we have other options here, such as direction that we can use. We have the distance. We have the offset of the shadow as well. So you can offset the Z distance of the shadow. Again, we have the alpha here underneath the color, and then color as we just adjusted it. So we can make this any color we need to match our shadow. There's also a lighted option, which will turn that lighted on as well. Now for the shadow types, we have a geometry, we have a texture, we have a path, and a razor. And when you do have it on texture, which it is on by default, you have your anisotropic settings that you can change to, and your sharpen if you want to sharpen it up. Now there's a couple of other options here, so let's just drag this font to the trash can. I have imported other fonts into our database here with more variations. So here we have an Arial font, and here's our main Arial font. And again, if I come over to my shadow tab and turn it active, we now have additional options for our shadows. So first, let's just change the color here so we can see this font a little bit better. We'll just add a material to it. We'll go back into our shadow here, change the color to black. So this Arial black was our default font. Now, when we imported these fonts, we also had the 4 blurs and the 3 outlines that we added too. So we could use any one of these blurs. We have a blur 1 that we could use. We have a blur 2 that we can use. We have the blur 3 or the blur 4 for the shadow. You can also use these strokes or outline fonts as the shadow as well. And you can see each one gets a little bit thicker as I drop this onto the background. So that's one way to create a shadow for your fonts within Vizrt.